Inside this storage container is a car that was abandoned for more than a year, and today we are going to be bringing it back to life on the UK roads in under 24 hours. But before we go see this car, there's actually one thing we've got to do, and that is actually get a jerry can of petrol because I'm sick to death of bringing cars on my drive that don't run. Oh, died.
Stop.
Oh, but I have to give it some gas. Oh, died.
Oh, £1. Love that.
Get some petrol. Behind these gates is a car that sounds like a weapon, looks like a weapon, and would definitely steal your missus if it drove past and it asked her to get in. It is lethal. Behind this storage container right here is a car we're going to be trying to restore in 48 hours, maybe even less than that. So some of you guys might have seen this car before and some of you guys might not have. But without further ado, let's unlock this baby and show you the car right now. I'm acting like this is really epic. It's actually quite boring, I guess. Ooh, let's get started with this car. So if you guys are actually new to the channel, basically, you won't have a clue what this car is, but it's actually already got my plate on it, M7YTX, which stands for Michael Terry YouTube Kiss. Hey! If you don't know the backstory of this car behind me, well, you can have that instead. Oh God, that was almost throw up. Oh. Grim. I bought this Mazda MX-5 2 years ago for a hefty sum of money, which I'll reveal later on in the video. But that was not knowing the problems that laid underneath it. A few problems started creeping up. We actually had a stalling issue where coming to a stop, the car would actually completely stall. This actually led to just be a simply dirty throttle body, which wasn't a big problem. We also had a faulty thermostat. We had a leak in the boot, which was literally just the seal on the third brake light. But this is where it got serious. When actually inspecting the underneath of the car, we had found some catastrophic problems. And by problems, I mean there was 2 cannonball-sized holes in the seals of this car. This was going to cost me at least £1,200 from a proper welder to fix up. And I didn't have that money. So I bought myself a welder and taught myself how to weld this car up. And although it might not look pretty, we got it fixed. But after that, we enjoyed the car for a few more months until the MOT ran out. And then I just couldn't find the time nor money to get it roadworthy again and through an MOT. So we pulled it into the storage container and let it sit there for the last year. This car has literally put me on my hands and knees for weeks. It's caused me headaches, man. It's caused me headaches, it's caused me sleepless nights. It's caused my bank account to just corrode, just like the underneath of this car from the rust. It might not even start. This car has been sat around for a year, so it might not even truthfully start. And that's what we're about to find out today. Now, as the car's been sat for a year, it's probably got some stale, manky fuel in there. So we're gonna fill this Mazda up with some good soup. Good soup. Step 1. Now the next step is actually coming in here and trying to jump start it, because obviously the battery is probably super dead right now. There. Boom. Joking. If this starts, this is gonna be beautiful. Quick. Let's try. First time I got lights on the dash. 122,000 miles, let's go. Why did I even think it wouldn't? Why did I think it wouldn't
first success of the channel in a long, long time. We always fail. We always fail. It's always me. I'm always just doing stupid things, buying stupid cars or breaking cars that aren't even broken. So to have a car just start like that is the creme de la creme. There she is, alive for the first time in a year. Woohoo!
Yeah, so that is actually the next objective of today's video completed. Now pretty much all we have to do is get the car home and get this car fixed up, ready for its MOT.
Without further ado, let's actually get this car home and get to work. Right, so the Mazda MX-5 is actually back on my driveway. It's currently 2 p.m. and tomorrow at 3 p.m. we've got an MOT. Literally, I'm just increasing my blood pressure for no reason. Nobody's forcing me to do this, I am. Without further ado, let's get straight to work. Now right here, we actually have the stock terminal on the car, and it's not actually terminaling right now. What actually happens is when I actually go over a pothole, it goes like this. Doing. So I've got it as tight as it can possibly go, and it's still loose on the terminal. And it shuts the car off. It actually shuts the car off when I hit a pothole.
Which, of course, is exactly what you want when you're driving down the road at 70 miles per hour. I don't know which plonker let me loose with a pair of cutters, but I've just cut the power supply for the whole car. Earlier that day, though, I made a little quick trip to Halford, and I bought this thing, which is basically a completely new positive terminal for the Mazda MX-5. Now, to install this was super easy. We just needed to get a Temu version of a Stanley Life and cut off some of the insulation to expose more wire, ready to crimp down using our new positive terminal, which we could do by tightening the 2 bolts on the top.
So we can put that on, just like so. Tighten it up. And then just like that, that's now not going anywhere. No more stalling on the motorway when I hit a pothole.
The second job for today was this leaking rocker cover, which was actually leaking oil onto the exhaust manifold, which was causing a lovely burning smell. You can actually see some of the oil puddling if you look close enough. Now, I'm basically a pro at changing rocker cover gaskets now, pretty much. I've changed the Minis, the BMWs, and now this Mazda's.
And there we go. Rocker cover all off.
Yay!
Oh my god, there's a fucking wasp. Hold on. Alright, I'm running. This oh. I remember why I don't like summer anymore. Oh my god, that was the easiest rocker cover to take off. The E46 one was like, literally it turned from rubber to plastic. So I was just fucking there like, I was there with a bloody pickaxe getting the rocker cover out. But that was lovely. That came out so nice.
Sliding this rubber in took no lube at all. Usually you have to spit on it at least. One of the nicest insertions of a rocker cover gasket I've ever done. If I dare say so myself, I was quicker than an F1 pit crew there changing this rocker cover gasket, because it is now back on the car with the second job complete.
As you can see, the sun is going down. About an hour later, we're now back onto putting the coil packs all back in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I remember back in the day where a rocker cover was way too far up my comfort zone with cars. I wouldn't even do it. Now I can change them in around an hour to 2 hours. Which might seem slow to you at home, but it's pretty quick to me. But that is 2 of the jobs completed.
So what exactly does it mean if I actually can't get the car for an MOT? I do want to say something epic like, oh, we actually scrapped the car if it fails the MOT. But to be honest, I don't have the capacity for that. I ain't 7 days performance giving away cars for free, alright? Well, to be honest, if it don't pass the MOT, I'll probably just shoot myself, because that means I've got to fix it, mate. But if it does pass the MOT, well, I'm just going to be pretty gassed, aren't I? But just like this, now the Number plates are looking a lot better.
I have just noticed we've got one bulb, the main bulb, out on this side. So we're going to have to replace this one somehow. So I need to get one Amazon Primed here tomorrow morning.
But another thing that might actually fail the MOT and stop us from passing is these cloudy headlights. So quite simply tackling it with some compound and a DA polisher brought the life back to it. If I polish it anymore, it's going to turn into a McLaren P1.
Look how much better they look now. Oh my God. They were so clouded before, but now they're like new.
Now thank the Lord Jesus for Amazon Prime delivering my next part for the car next day at 8 a.m. They should be sleeping. To install this next part for the car, to actually get it past through an MOT was absolutely silly. We had to drag the whole front end up.
What a ball ache to change a bulb.
And all of this to actually fold back the wheel arch to actually get to the bulb. Now you could access it from the top, but you'd have to remove the screen wash tank, which probably would have been an easier job, to be honest.
What a fucking faff that was.
And you can tell this Mazda MX-5 is cursed because once I installed the new left one, the right one went out as I installed the left one. What?
And just like that. Woo! What a absolute ball ache that was just to change a bulb.
The next job on the list was a pretty serious one. And if it went into the MOT just like this, it definitely would not pass.
Now this right here is where the jobs get bigger. It is literally 11:07 right now.
So this is actually the left sill I actually completed last year. And this is the other side where it looks like I just couldn't be bothered to finish it. There's a hole in the sill. And I didn't even bother under-sealing the new sheet metal. So as you can see, it started to rust already.
So we're going to be using pieces of sheet metal, cutting it out, and then literally fabricating it to fit into that place. And then we're going to weld it into place. And yeah, we've got to do that all in like under 4 hours, which is lovely for me.
So let's get straight to work.
Not the prettiest sight you've ever seen, but that is all welded up now. I mean, literally, it's just time to get this car back on the ground. Wheels on, back on the ground. Literally, and just like that. Wait. Alright, so in technically 24 hours, we've been able to get this Mazda, hopefully, roadworthy again. New rocker cover, new battery terminals, the seal's been welded. Right, so after all of that, it's now time to go see if the welds I did last year are MOT worthy.
Now, if this Mazda MX-5 comes back with a clean pass from the MOT, we have got something very special waiting in the garage to install to it.
Right, Mazda's going back in. Fingers crossed it comes out with a pass, you know. It looks shiny. There you go. No, you know what? It does look good. It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail.
Now, of course, I can't film anything past here, but what do we think? Pass or fail? I can already read your guys' mind. I know you got no hope of me. I know you're thinking fail, and so am I.
Right, so Mazda MX-5 is back out of the MOT centre, you get me, Bush? And we've got the results in my hand right now. Did it pass though? Did it pass? That is the real question. The MOT test actually, oh, hold on, failed. No. Oh. When I tell you this guy got a fork, mate, yeah, he got a fork and he just jabbed the sill, just crumbled. Just crumble to pieces. A sand castle has got more structural rigidity than this Mazda MX-5.
Here is the live kill cam of the inner sill getting disintegrated. Literally, it's peeling more than my skin after a flipping sunny day in the UK. Look at it!
So on the MOT test certificate, we've actually got this.
Repair immediately, major defects. Vehicle structure or chassis has excessive corrosion, seriously affecting its strength within 30 centimeters of body's mounting offside front inner sill. Somehow, in the course of just sitting in a storage container, the front sills, they just decided to be a dick. Not that I'm a professional welder, but the thing that scares me is someone like you guys out there could have went for an MOT, seen him prodding things, and each prod would be another couple £100. Repairing that inner seal would be like a £1,000 job potentially, maybe £800, maybe even £2,000, because someone has got to weld in new panels to replace the old one. So this is why I encourage you guys to get under your car to save money.
Looking back, I should have definitely just done the whole seal when I was doing the rears. It would have saved me so much time and I wouldn't have this headache. But you live and you learn, guys.
I have to laugh or I'll cry. I have to laugh or I'll cry.
So the first thing we had to do was chop out every single rusty piece of metal on this inner seal so that we can replace it with new fresh steel. Then using a bit of leftover sheet metal that I had from last year, we marked and cut down to size, ready to start bending it into the shape of the inner seal, ready to weld into place. Using the holes we've just drilled, we can then plug weld it to the existing seal to bind them together.
I'm currently just making up one last panel because we ran out of sheet metal. Literally, that panel right there should finish the car off.
I definitely wasn't expecting this seal to be rotten. Sometimes I'm convinced these cars just break to piss us off, basically. Now, for those times that your car inevitably runs into problems, you need this device right here, the CARISTA Evo.
If you've ever had a check engine light on the dash, you won't know what it is until you take it to a mechanic. Well, not anymore with this device.
This device right here has been an absolute lifesaver. Whenever my car or a family member's car or friend's car has an issue, this saves us money on diagnostic fees from mechanics and time because we can diagnose the problem from my driveway, from their driveway, for that matter, anywhere.
While I'm bending the last seal into place, using CARISTA Evo, we can even read live data from the car to look into all of the different sensors to make sure every part of the car is running in the best shape it can be. And if there are any problems, we can see exactly what isn't. And with cars getting more and more modern, we can actually also perform DIY service procedures from CARISTA, such as battery registration or putting your electronic brakes into service mode. And so many more options. Using CARISTA, we can even read and diagnose, check engine light and fault code to see exactly what is wrong with the car.
Now, on my BMW M240i, we actually have a fault that we need CARISTA for. If we actually start the car, you can actually see we've got an airbag light right here and then passenger restraint system fault because we actually unplugged one of the airbags when taking out my dash cam because little secret, this BMW is going. So we need CARISTA Evo to reset that light and clear it off the dash.
So with CARISTA Evo, we can see that the front passenger airbag has a fault in it, which is the one we simply unplugged. We're going to reset that now.
So now we've reset the airbag. If we actually have a look, the airbag light will be gone. Boom. And that is why you need a CARISTA Evo to save you in the times that you do need it. One of my most favourite features about CARISTA Evo is the ability to unlock hidden features and personalise your vehicle on certain makes and models, such as BMWs and most VAG cars, such as this Seat Ibiza behind me. On this Seat Ibiza, we've activated needle swiping, just like that. Ooh! We turned off the seatbelt warning. We've turned beeping when locking with the remote. And there are so many more options. You can actually click the link in the description for free to check if your car has got any hidden features with CARISTA Evo. Just like this Ibiza.
So if you are interested in having peace of mind, whenever things go wrong on the car,
then click the link in the description and use my discount code Michael25 for money off your CARISTA Evo device. Oh, it was actually upside down. Anyway, let's get back into the car and finish this welding. Ooh.
And in goes the last plate, ready to send this car back in for its MOT. Now, this might seem overkill, but I've got genuine trauma from rust at this point. We've got primer on the weld, sealer, and underseal on the weld to stop the new sheet metal from rusting. And quite simply, the last step was to actually cut off the excess seal that I've created to make sure it's all in line with no sharp edges. And then we can quite simply get the side skirt back on and you wouldn't even know I've touched it.
Second time Mazda going in. Come on, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Ooh. And it's failed. So guys, the Mazda MX-5 has just come back from its MOT retest. And of course we passed! Yes! I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully you can, but it says pass. We've only come out with this MOT with one advisory, and that is actually obviously the service brake imbalance. But that is actually right, guys. The Mazda MX-5 is back on road for another 12 months until it fails next year, lads. Now, genuinely beyond buzzing, literally just in time for the summer as well. Come on, little Mazda. But what this actually means is all of that work rolling around on the floor, welding this front sill up, paid off, lads. Yes! At home, we actually have a very, very special modification that we're going to be installing to the Mazda MX-5. That's going to turn it into an absolute. It's going to eat the tarmac up, mate. You see that aggressive face, mate? It's going to eat this tarmac up. Over here, which is currently being censored. It's like we're in Japan right now, censoring the bits, mate. It's that sensual and exciting. It should be. We actually have some H-Drive coilovers to install to the Mazda MX-5 today. Right, so to replace the rusty dusty, I mean, look at that. You had one job, mate, to protect it, and look at that. You're as good as spaghetti oops at that point. But to get this whole strut out so we can put the new H-Drive ones in, we got one bolt here, one bolt on the other side right there. And at the bottom of the strut, we've got a pinch bolt right there. And last but not least, if we come to the top, we've got 3 bolts at the top.
Well, this looks like it belongs in a horror film. After getting the manky old struts out, we can then slide in the brand new ones from H-Drive Motorsport, which allows us to raise and lower the car to get perfect fitment, as well as allowing us to have 30 levels of adjustment in the dampening. So if we're about to go on a track day, we can quite simply turn that knob at the top of the shop to get stiff suspension to get those corners cleaner. And then we can quite simply turn it back to soft coming out of the track.
It's so low now, I have to put it on bricks to get the jack out, and it still struggles to come out. So the car is now back on road, guys, after a year of being sat around, and it's feeling better than ever. As you guys know, I put them in the harshest setting, and you could tell. But it's honestly transformed the car from something your granddad drive to something you could comfortably chuck around any race circuit or B-road you could throw at it. It is honestly so much more darty, and oh mate, it handles so much better now. Mate, the confidence, oh my gosh! This is a road I drive all the time, a private road of course, but wow. The amount of times I've drove this car around these corners, and that's just 10 times quicker. Woohoo! Oh, the brakes. I've upgraded the brakes on this car. Woohoo! That's an insane, insane difference with those coilovers. It might look like the most unaggressive thing you've ever seen. These Mazda MX-5s don't joke from stock, but coilovers, next level. Right then guys, so that is actually the H-Drive coilovers all installed to the little Mazda MX-5. It almost seems a little bit disrespectful putting such nice coilovers on such a car. But they have literally transformed the car. inside the boot, I haven't actually quite got it all back together, but you can see the H-Drive coilovers right there, and they're on the stiffest setting. Just like me when I see your beautiful face, comment on the video. Go on, comment now. If you've got this far in the video, comment hard, and I'll subscribe to you. But fronts and backs are right there. Hard, stiffest setting. So I'm telling you right now, you can see how stiff the suspension is if I push down, no movement. This car is a bumpy ride, but we can actually adjust it by just twiddling that little knob. But this is actually where I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see me do with this car? Do you guys want me to sell the car and buy a new project for the channel, to replace the Mazda, or the most likely option, just chuck it in the bin, mate? Let me know what you guys think, comment down below, and who knows, I might be buying the car that you recommend in the comments below. A pretty sentimental car because it taught me a lot. It taught me how to drift. It taught me how to do burnout. If you actually come look on the front windscreen, it was my first ever track day. I had literally the best day of my life. Hands down, the best day of my life. Driving this car around track on my own, literally. It's such a unique and interesting car, guys. I am gonna miss it if we do end up selling it and moving on to the next project. But I do understand, most of you guys are probably going to want me to sell this car and move on to the next one, as I've had it probably 2 years now. I've had this car. Did we get it fixed in 24 hours? No. Did we get it fixed in 48 hours? No. I think this car took me about 3 days to get back on road with a fresh MOT. This car has been the biggest financial mistake I've ever made, but regardless of that, I'm sure we all have a car that eats our money up, but this is my financial mistake, which was my biggest blessing. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. That's probably it for the Mazda MX-5. It's been an amazing journey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you faces in my next video.